Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. I'm just going to do a quick little tier list. I was doing the breakdowns for the Friday the 13th movies and, well, didn't quite make it to Jason X, the remake. I wasn't going to do Freddy vs. Jason until after I did the Nightmare series as well. But yeah, I started watching Jason X and I just didn't want to finish it. I used to like the movie, but it was just too boring, I guess. I don't know. And I really like the remake, but I don't want to do the remake before Jason X. I want to do them all in order. So for now, I'm just going to do a little tier list since I'm basically done with the series almost, just to have some content on this beautiful Friday. Um, so yeah, if you like tier lists or anything, I do have a 80s horror film tier list that I did a while ago. That video did pretty good, so if you want to go check it out, it should pop up right here. It can also be in the description. And I still need to go back to like my 70s, 90s, 2000s horror list. But for now, let's just get into the Friday 13th one. And yeah, so we'll start right here. The first Friday 13th. Also, just real quick, most people know what tier lists are, but I know some people who don't. It's just, like A is good, B, D is bad. S tier is just like the best. Um, so that's how that ranking works. It's pretty easy to look up. The first movie, I think when I first saw it, I would have put it at like an A. It started the series, but man, I rewatched it a few times, like within the past month or past year. I watched it with my girlfriend, and then I watched it by myself like twice, and then I rewatched it for the breakdown video, and it's just I don't think it holds up, unfortunately. I think I even gave it like a D tier in the 80s horror tier list. I mean, it has some good qualities. Like, I like the campiness and I like the feeling of it. Like, I like the. I, I like the cheapness. It's a weird thing to say. It just makes me feel like, oh, I could go make a movie like this. But the kills are pretty good. But overall, like, it's a slog. There's a lot of. It's basically, if you rewatch this, it's got good kills and like some good moments, but in between that is just a lot of nothing. It's a lot of talking and just boring stuff. So, unfortunately, I'm gonna give the original Friday 13th D tier. So don't hate me yet. Um, Friday 13th Part Two. Um, I like this movie more than the first one, definitely. I don't know if I would re-watch it as much though. I think I'm gonna give this B tier. I like the characters. I like Jason being the killer. I really like the bag face. That's one of my favorite ones. Like the hockey mask is cool, but Baghead Jason is very cool. Um, and yeah, so I'm just gonna give that a B tier. Friday 13th Part 3. This movie's pretty bad as well, I think. Um, I think I'm gonna give it C though, because I don't think it's as bad as the original one, because it's still watchable. It does have a lot of like early 3D things are like in your face, like the yo-yo and stuff like that. But Jason does get his hockey mask in this movie. Shelley almost gives it like it would be F tier because of him, but luckily there's like other people like Serpent and like the biker gang and Fox, people like that, which I really like all their scenes. Um, and there's like a weird thing with Jason being with a girl at night. It's unexplained. And yeah, it's just a weird like subplot that doesn't really get explored. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna give that C tier. So, all right, moving on. Friday 13th Part 4, the final chapter. This is the first Friday 13th movie I ever saw. Um, My parents bought it for me when I was starting middle school or something. They let me watch it because it was the. My parents bought it for me. I think I saw the first one. We were at the store. We had like just moved from all my friends or whatever, so I think they just like were like, whatever, I'll just buy you Friday 13th. And at that point, I think I had watched like VH1's top 100 scary endings, so I had seen like the original Friday 13th ending, and I had watched like Alien and stuff like that. So my dad was like, whatever, you could watch Friday 13th, which I feel like Jason. I don't think they knew at the time that Jason Lives was the one without nudity, so I watched this one instead. But I remember really liking it when I first saw it. Um, I think a lot of people still really like it. I know a lot of people say it's like one of their favorites between that and Jason Lives. I'm gonna have to put it like B tier. That's not bad. I just don't think it's A or S. Like, I do think part 2 is above it. Um, I just don't want to rewatch it, I guess. Kind of has like a lot going on. It has like some of my favorite scenes from Friday 13th movie, but like overall as a film, I just feel like there's a lot of stuff that could have been better. Like, I really like the brother plot when he comes to like find his sister from, what is it, part 2? Which they did a lot better in the remake. But I wish they would have done some more stuff like that. But it does have like the iconic scene. What does he say? He's killing me, or he's stabbing me, whatever he says. So, Corey Feldman, the first in the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. So, yeah, Friday 13th Part 5. This used to be my least favorite. When I first watched them all, I think I saw them all. So the first time I watched all the Friday 13th, it was like in middle school. It was on like TV. They had like a marathon. And I remember not liking this. And I definitely did not like Jason Goes to Hell. But Part 5 has kind of grown on me a little. So as a horror channel, I'm a fan of Dead Meat as well. And they kind of persuaded... I think they rank this one like their highest, but I don't think it's that good. But they kind of turned, like, their points kind of made me rewatch it, and I was like, oh yeah, I kind of like the two boys when they're in the having car trouble. The one dude's like singing, and I like the characters. That's really the main thing about this. Is I like all the characters except for Tommy. I think Tommy is like a bad character in this one. I think I'm gonna put this like C, but above Part 3. So, all right, Jason Lives. So, I don't want to sound like I'm part of a bandwagon or anything, but Jason Lives is S tier for me. I don't know. I just love the comedy. I love the way it's shot. It's one of like my favorite like just movies in general. It's like the way it looks, and was directed by Tom McLaughlin. Uh, really nice, really good scenes. I like Tommy Jarvis's character here a lot. Tom Matthews is really good, and yeah, I like Jason's look in this as well. And a lot of people have like the same opinions or the opposite opinions, but I think it's S tier. I'll rewatch this whenever I like he's back. I like the Alice Cooper songs that play during it, and like the RV flipping and Jason standing on top. It's just there's so many like I feel like I like every scene that happens. So that's why I'm putting it at S tier. All right, Friday the 13th, Part 7. The New Blood. The New Blood. I don't know. It doesn't show it. I'm pretty sure it's the New Blood. I don't know. I just actually just rewatched this one randomly. it's just not. Let me see. So for this, it's really a matter of like, it's just fine. It's just a matter of looking at if it's better. I definitely think it's better, holds up more than the first one, and more than the third one. Character wise, I don't think it's as good as Part 5. So I'm going to put it as C tier. I think Part 2 and Part 4 are definitely better. This movie probably would be better if they didn't lose all their footage and the MPPA didn't mess it up. If you can find some, it all looks really bad, but there's a lot of like kills and stuff. Not kills, but the extended scenes of the kills were shortened and then cut, so it's really unfortunate, but that is how the movie came out, so that's how I'm rating it on here. All right, Jason Takes Manhattan. I don't. This is gonna be like low C tier because it's definitely watchable. The reason the first one's in D tier is I just feel like it's not like you put it on and like you get bored and you start doing other stuff. Like it's hard. You don't want to sit through it. I mean, I'll sit through it because I'm still a fan of all these. Don't get the ratings mixed up. Like even the lowest rating, the first Friday 13th, I will still watch it. I mostly like it for just the way it looks, but out of all of them, it's probably the lowest. And Jason Takes Manhattan is just like Jason on a boat, as people call it. He's barely in Manhattan. I think the only time they actually filmed there was the Times Square scene where he looks around. The rest is filmed in like Vancouver or something. But it does have like some good kills. Like he punches the dude's head off, and that's all I can think of right now. So, which is why it's at C tier. All right, Jason Goes to Hell. I think I'm gonna put at D tier. I just think it's a bad movie. I think if I'm changing my mind. Putting it at C tier above Jason Takes Manhattan because the main character in this, there's some scenes where like I'm like, oh, this dude's an idiot, but the guy who's like the dad, and he gets like arrested and he like jumps over his handcuffs. There's a lot of scenes I like that. I feel like if this was not a Friday movie, if they just took the script and made it like there's this killer who's taken over people, I would have enjoyed it a lot more, but you have like expectations. So imagine like when I first saw it, I'm a kid, I'm watching all the Friday 13th movies. Jason's in all of them. He's in The Killer as in almost all of them except for the first. And then you get to Jason Goes to Hell. And, I don't know anything about it yet. And he like dies at the beginning. And then he possesses people. Like it's very jarring. And rewatching it, I just can't like shake the feeling of like this, like open my mind and just accept that's different. It's just too different. Which leads us to Jason X, which is also I feel too different. This one's going to D tier. I might change my mind. It used to be like a B tier for me because I was like, oh, this is really cheesy and campy, and I actually thought before I rewatched them to do the tier list that I was gonna like it. And I watched it not that long ago because I've been wanting to do the breakdown. I'm doing all these breakdowns for the movies, and the reason those are delayed, I'm gonna make an update video, but I might as well throw it in. I quit uploading for like 3 months. All my videos kept getting blocked in every country, so eventually I like gave up. But I'm not giving up again. I just want to try it again. Hopefully we don't get banned and everything. But I tried rewatching it. I like can't get past the first 10 minutes. It's just hard. We're like sitting there. I was taking notes with my girlfriend because we're gonna do the breakdown together, and it's just hard. So I'll put it at D. Maybe like first viewing, it's really fun, but it's a D tier from now. All right, Freddy versus Jason. No, I'm gonna move these up to A tier. Freddy vs. Jason will be B tier with part 5. Freddy vs. Jason is okay. Could have been better. There's a lot of cheesy stuff. The acting is like very bad. Um, but Freddy does verse Jason, so I mean that's nice. I like the Jason in this movie. Robert Englund obviously is Freddy Krueger again, so there's no problems there. Overall, pretty good movie. Or I don't know about pretty good movie, but it's like enjoyable. And if it's enjoyable, it's I would rather watch it above these. So, and then Friday 13th, 2009. This is S tier to me. Um, I think it's really good. I think it's a great remake. It's one of like the better horror remakes. I actually like the Platinum Dunes remakes. I like the Texas Chainsaw one and all that. I don't like Friday 13th or I don't like Nightmare on Elm Street's remake. I don't know if that's Platinum Dunes, but I remember that being pretty bad. But this remake is really good. It's basically a remake of the first 3 movies. Um, Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of like a remake of the 1, 2, and 4. Kind of. It takes elements. I can't remember exactly, but like I said in part 4, there's like the brother that comes, and this is like the main plot is the brother's trying to find his sister from like a previous encounter with Jason, and they kind of redo what happens in the first movie, and I think it's filmed good. It's really nice. I mean, it's 2009, so it does have like some humor from 2009 that kind of doesn't hold up, but overall, like this is the one when people like want to watch Friday 13th. It's kind of hard to get people into it. Like I've tried to get my friends to watch, and if I show them the first Friday 13th, like they like do not want to watch it anymore. They're like, oh, I thought this was like fun. Um, Jason Lives, I always show like uh, younger people who want to get into it because, like I said, if it has no nudity, so it's just has the kills, so it's pretty good and it's a good movie. And then the remake does have a lot of nudity, but this one I think is easier for like people nowadays to watch, and I think it holds up pretty good. And yeah, that's my tier list. I know a lot of people will probably disagree. Just let me know in the comments what you think. Um, I think I think it's pretty good. I think a lot of people will disagree, but I do think a few people will agree with me. I know for a fact some people will get mad at the Friday 13th, the original being on D tier. Um, but that's just how I feel about it, unfortunately. So, yeah, let me know in the comments, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Thanks.